Einspruch! Hallöchen! Ein nun so gesehen verspätetes frohes neues Jahr. Das erste Mal. Der erste richtige Stream in diesem Jahr. Hallo. Schön, dass ihr da seid. Und ich bin nicht alleine. Ich glaube, ich muss die Musik ein bisschen leiser machen. Denn an meiner Seite für The Great Ace Attorney ist immer dabei Crimson und Shadow. Hallo.
Moin moin.
Hallöchen!
Und hallo Skat. Schön, dass du da bist. Und die Lurker da draußen, die eventuell noch mit dabei sind und zuschauen. Wer weiß. Julian. Hi. Leute, ihr könnt ja nicht einfach, ich bin doch noch in dem falschen Stream. Da gibt es doch keine Alerts. Oh, das habe ich übrigens gezeichnet. Moment. Schwarzbild. Muss ich nochmal neu starten. Also, einmal. Drumroll für den Crimson. Moment. So, nochmal.
Lauter, lauter, lauter. Lauter, lauter, lauter.
Dankeschön, Crimson.
Zweispruch.
Zweispruch für deinen 44. Monat. Und der Shadow direkt hinterher. Und, Alert muss noch zu Ende. Jetzt.
Lauter, lauter, lauter. Lauter, lauter, lauter.
Dreispruch.
Spruch. Dankeschön für deinen 18. Monat. Vielen lieben Dank. Und der Jo mit 29 Monaten. Ist nochmal zum Hören.
Lauter, lauter, lauter. Lauter, lauter, lauter.
Halli, hallo, hallöchen, WW. Wie geht's euch dreien, GGI?
GGI.
Wrong Channel.
Ach, was, lernst du doch schnell drauf. Nein. Das sind eure Feierlichkeiten, wenn ihr hier subscribt. Verdient ihr auch zu hören. So. Keep Capture. Ne, nicht die Game Capture. Spielaufnahme. Das ist das. So. Müsst du gleich loslegen. Long, long time ago, I can still remember the last time we played this game.
Ich nicht. Ist wirklich ein bisschen lange her.
So, Sekunde, Bildschirmübertragung geht gleich an. Bietchen. Früher bei Professor Layton vs. Ace Attorney habe ich mich darüber geärgert, war ich ein bisschen genervt darüber, dass jedes Mal, wenn du das Spiel neu lädst, dir erstmal 2 Minuten lang, was das letzte Mal geschah, gegeben hat. Und ich so, ja, ich verstehe, wenn du das Spiel ein halbes Jahr lang nicht anfährst, ist das sinnvoll. Aber wenn ich einfach nur mal kurz wieder lade, ist es ätzend. Aber jetzt wünsche ich mir gerade ein, was das letzte Mal geschah.
I think someone died.
I think so too. Es hatte was mit einer Kutsche zu tun. Irgendjemand, der gepennt hat. Ein toter Winkel.
Genau, und es beginnt mit einem D. Richtig?
The Adventure of the Runaway Room. Trial, Part 3, The Old Bailey. Okay. Wir finden das heraus. Genauso wie wir herausfinden, wem wir nochmal gesprochen haben. Also, guck mal, es ist ja fast knapp einen Monat vor uns. 18. Februar.
Den einen Monat hätten wir auch noch warten
Ja,
können.
finde ich auch.
Aber wir wären dann auch in 1800 irgendwas gelandet?
Es wäre ein Wunder, wenn wir dieselbe Uhrzeit hätten.
12:52 Uhr. The Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. What on earth just happened there? I don't know, but if you have a recap, that would be great just now.
Roll History Check.
Mr. Naruhodo, I've managed to find out what happened. Yes, please do tell us, Susato. Miss Susato, I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke. A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing ninjas use.
They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long.
But who would have done something like that?
The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently.
Flee the courtroom? Why?
Well, it's a young girl, around 15, I hear.
A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilded was just talking about?
My thoughts exactly.
So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilded, actually? There are so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here!
Like, why is he using that strange, dumb voice?
I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions. Along with the young girl.
Who is she, I wonder? Who's that girl? And what was she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk. And for what possible benefit to herself?
There's another matter that's troubling me.
What's that?
The 20 pence.
Ach ja, der Typ, der irgendwie mit seiner mit seinem Ticketfahrpreis beschissen hat. Ah. Oh,
According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly.
but now it seems there were in fact 5 passengers.
Which means the figures don't seem to add up again.
He's right. That is strange.
Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will commence in 5 minutes.
Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go in straight away.
Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now.
Reines Interesse. Susato, wie alt bist du? You're not so much older! Young girl. She's your age.
Aber so wie sie sich benimmt, könnte sie locker über 20 sein.
I really can't imagine what she's going to say. But it would alter the whole direction.
But it could alter the whole direction of the trial. We'll know soon enough, Miss Susato.
Yes. Let's see.
'18th February, 1 p.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. Ah. Ah, da ist er. There's the young girl next to Mr. McGilded. Look. He must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. I need a new voice! Oh no! So, wer war nochmal der Judge?
Ich glaube, ich bin ziemlich sicher, Crimson hat den hier übernommen gehabt.
Ach du Scheiße. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded.
Oops.
Now then, Lord Van Zieks.
And this Edgeworth-looking motherfucker is my patient.
Yes.
My lord. I have no idea how I voiced him.
I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which veiled proceedings earlier.
There was smoke? It seems to have been an advance from a smoke grenade, whatever that is, of a sort typically employed by the army.
Good gracious, the army? What in the devil's name is that?
It's the thing you use for all your colonies.
It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught. And now occupy the stand.
Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom?
Mein Gerichtssaal.
Mein ja.
Vielleicht auch nicht.
What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior?
Oh, jetzt muss ich schon den Schotten auspacken.
Yes.
If I may, my lord.
Yes, Mr. McGilded.
I think perhaps I ought to explain here. What is it that this wee lass has there in the first place? And why she tried to board like that? This all tied up with the event of the night. So it is. Do not sleep.
Very well, Mr. McGilded, give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case.
Ja. Alles klar, you, Waldmanns Heil. You're almost done. Lausche Gedankenpause.
So, jetzt aber ein bisschen plötzlich.
Ja. Und du kriegst einen Punkt. Und du kriegst einen Punkt. Just what did happen that night?
The Scotman spoke.
It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. Why don't you tell me?
Witness testimony.
Wait, you're in this game too?
Barely.
The young girl. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then, what?
Begorra.
Begorra? Ist das ein Wort oder ein Geräusch, was er macht?
Wahrscheinlich so ein Heureka, so ein Hoppala.
Okay, then Begorra! Hoppala.
A loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I set him up on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out where the scream had come from. And bless my soul, bless me bagpipe. What did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hidden where he wee self away.
I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus. Is that correct?
Yo. I mean, this exactly as the defense counsel said. This lass was the fifth passenger, my lord.
Leonoske, stell dich gerade hin.
Der kriegt irgendwann mal Buckelschmerzen, aber sowas von.
His lower back.
Is killing him.
Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel?
No. Yes, I mean yes, my lord. Or rather, no.
Yes, but actually no.
I have no idea where to start.
Das Gesicht.
Turns to the camera, please help me.
I need a walkthrough.
So, hat er schon was gesagt, bis auf Smoke Grenade?
Ich
Nein.
wollte gerade sagen, er hat irgendwas mit Rauchgranate gesagt. Was können Sie mir noch so sagen? Ja, Rauchgranaten ohne R sind auch Granaten.
Hm. So.
Ah, grüner Text. Ich dreh durch.
Nein,
Entschuldigung.
nein.
Ich muss ja hier nichts bearbeiten.
Ja, ja. sagen, pressen wir ihn mal durch, oder? Ich guck
Alles pressen. Wir pressen den richtig durch.
Press! Mal eben noch.
Maybe we can squeeze out some chocolate.
Ich hab Q gedrückt. Oh Gott. And when you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? You know, I just need a...
There were no. The cabin was empty, and there was no one on the roof deck either.
So you were the first passenger, okay.
You were the first passenger, as it were, I see.
Sounds like a movie. The first passenger. Aye, and that's why I took the backside as I did. This is the most comfortable, so it is.
Did someone say backside?
Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat?
Rücksitz. By all means, this how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite, the one in which the poor gentleman who was stabbed was sitting.
Gut, so, ich muss mal eben hier mal. Mein Armband. Autopsie-Report. The cause of death as internal hemorrhaging, as a stab from the abdomen. Times photograph.
Also im Grunde auch nur die Sitze, die in Fahrtrichtung praktisch hinten sind.
Ja. Oder Y? Das ist Y. The leather gloves the defendant was wearing at the time of the incident. There is bloodstains on the right glove. Das ist der Omnibus. Das ist die...
Stand bei dem Omnibus irgendwas mit Right?
Ja, ja. Phoenix Fried Omnibus.
Ja, Phoenix Fried Omnibus, ja. Well.
I like that name. I may name my great-great-great-grandson.
Ja, du wirst ihn danach benennen. 100 Jahre später
Ich werde
ich
es jedem meiner Kinder sagen. Wenn ihr irgendwann in 100 Jahren einen Sohn habt, nennt ihn Phoenix Wright.
Bis dahin
But
werden alle
why?
Kinder nur Mädchen sein in dieser Blutlinie.
Und also, but why should we name them?
It's such a cool
I
name.
saw him on a shield on an omnibus.
And I thought it was funny.
Und all die Kinder dann bei Phoenix in der Klasse, haha, du bist doch eine Omnibus benannt. Der wollte als Kind auch lieber Busfahrer werden als Omnibus.
Auf. Open it! Thank you. It's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? Also irgendjemand hat einen Loan, nicht wahr? Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not even everyone in this country is well off. Okay. Okay, let's try then.
Like I said, this is the most comfortable and where I feel most at ease.
In Fahrtrichtung.
And of course I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well.
Junge!
Schläft
Keine Angst, der hat sich einen Wecker gestellt.
Ah, okay, irgendwo steht ein Bummfass dann.
A wee scream woke me up. Okay.
Hold it!
A loud thud, you say, and a scream?
Aye, that's right. Why am I not a pirate now?
Aye!
Aye! How can I explain it? 'Twas like the sound of someone falling to the ground. Like a plop. That sort of noise. Flop.
So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor having been stabbed?
Nah, he got a knife on his... and it would sound like a flop cling. Well now, you remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me, and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the cottage, but they fell on the floor.
You didn't see anyone? But at the same moment you did hear a scream?
From the seats above you on the roof deck, I presume.
Not above me, my lord. No, my lord. 'Twas from inside the cabin.
Okay, da war doch irgendwo ein...
Ein Geheimfach, ja, wo
Ja.
sich jemand Kleines hätte verstecken können.
Sie ist so klein. Hm.
Sehr gelenkig. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before my eyes.
Hold it!
You set him up? The victim, you say?
That I did. Under the seat across from me, as I said, I couldn't painfully see that the poor devil was already gone.
Then why touch the corpse?
Nah, he sure was sitting comfortable, I think. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would ya?
Yes, you would.
Doch, genau das würde man tun.
This common courtesy, so it is.
Ich glaube, der braucht keine Höflichkeiten mehr.
Oh, er ist wach. I find that you're a little hard to believe.
Ara, ara.
Damn it! Ich wollte jetzt wirklich sein.
Damn it.
Bet you to it.
Ara, Lord von Six. Nor why would it be?
You wait to find a man lying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail a cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is.
Well, I'm Scottish, so screw you.
Yeah, I'm Scotty, so fuck you. Well, now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business.
Murder. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest.
Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would be silly dead.
Weil du zu hohe Zinsen verlangst, du Depp.
So I do try. Where are I possible to avoid getting myself in a tangle with trouble?
Are you suggesting you were just going to leave the man there?
If I was alive, no. I was always intended to report it. So I was. Only I had a mind to find out the whys and wherefores first.
The whys and wherefores? Wherefores?
Wherefores? Ist das sowas wie von Vollmond?
Ja, oh Gott.
Right, you are.
Was?
Jedi bei Vollmond.
There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to the meddling. That sweet scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do it just the same?
Yes, the scream he says he heard at the same time as the thud of the victim collapsing.
Hold it!
Yeah, what did you find? Tell us. I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. Jetzt sag doch endlich, dass sie unter der Bank war.
So I did. Sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is.
Cheers to you. Think auch was. What do you mean by that?
Well now, this is a queer thing. The wee scream I heard as I woke up. But I came from... If you'd excuse my vocal expression, under my backside.
Under me backside. Also unter meinem Hintern.
Good gracious!
Just say under
Yeah,
the back.
my ears can talk now.
Under your backside!
It looks like he's already talking out of his ass all the
Yeah.
time.
And then I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting. Oh, this smell, ooh. I found there was a wee chubby hole there for storage.
Cubby, nicht Chubby.
Cubby, Entschuldigung.
Naruzaku.
Cubby hole.
Mr. Naruhodo, we can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember? I did find that already.
Yes, of course. The whole boss was submitted as evidence. It's standing right there.
Submit?
This would be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside.
I already did, Susato-san.
Sie war ein paar Monate nicht dabei. Sie hat's vergessen.
Let's do that again, then.
Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we?
Ugh, the scene of a murder. It's horrible. But let's do it anyways. This seat has a handle, it seems. Da-da-da-da! This is a storage compartment, but there's nothing in there. It's totally empty. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is. Because you're slow, Naruhodo. So.
Like every other protagonist and their companions.
So we did that.
And that's when I found her.
It was a target. Die Designs der beiden sind schon erstaunlich schlicht. Ja, Phoenix ist auch nicht sonderlich fancy,
Hochdekoriert.
ja.
Hold it!
You say she was hiding herself.
Aye, that's right.
Phoenix hat seine Haare und Augenbrauen, aber...
It was hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When your eyes met, well... Me heart nearly stopped beating in my chest.
You're really overacting this.
Well, I'm Scottish.
Und der Zwölfjährige sieht aus wie ein Zirkusdirektor. Wegen seinem Hut. Ein feiner schottischer Zylinder ist das.
Still and all, I pulled her out from under there. And sat her under the seat opposite so I could have a wee chain wag with her.
Oh, ein Chinwag. Oh, wie britisch. Süß. Also, du hast sie neben die Leiche gesetzt? Das war nett.
Und dann habe ich auch das ein noch Messer in die Brust gerammt, damit sie so ruhig gibt wie der andere.
The seat opposite?
That's right, just next to the dead gentleman there.
Ah ja, der war, meine Güte, pädagogisch wertvoll.
Gemütlich.
Der ist noch warm.
You set this young girl next to a corpse, sir?
Well, he didn't mind. Well, I'm sure I mentioned it. A gentleman in my position cannot too often find himself in a mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see? And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream. A fella's voice this time.
Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats.
But who's on first?
No,
Right.
who's second?
Huh. Right, right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with a knife in his belly.
In other words, the previous witnesses did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McGilded. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason.
Das hätte man in den
Question mark?
Klamotten nicht erkennen können.
Rein theoretisch.
Dass sie
Du
was
kannst doch mal langsam
komplett
aufhören, kannst doch mal die Jojo-Pose unterlassen.
Nein. I'm frozen. Es ist eine Don't Move Challenge, wie heißt das?
Mannequin Challenge.
Ja.
There, my lord. I was As I think everyone understands now, set it in the back of the carriage out of sight.
That makes sense.
It is certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature. And readily confused, perhaps, with this young girl.
After that, of course. With the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver...
Und der fliegt einfach davon. Wie ein Helikopter. Der Hut öffnet sich einfach.
The driver realized something was wrong and pulled up their horses.
Thank you, I've heard enough.
Well,
Guilty!
Guilty as fuck.
The events as explained are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is the girl?
Who knows?
Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord.
Rod.
Lestrade.
So we have Sherlock, we have Lestrade. And we have Watson.
She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket.
What?
This girl here, a petty thief?
And a pretty one.
Well, that too. She could be a great thief.
Well, that's for the sound effect.
Ah. Oder! Ich wusste, ich habe was vergessen.
Is this true, Miss Lestrade?
Ich, nutze mein
Oh,
Recht.
Scheiße, die ist tot.
Ich nutze mein Recht zu schweigen.
Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question.
Nimm das.
Oh no, I'm dead.
Schnupper Gas, böse.
Jetzt reicht's aber. Was ist denn hier los? Vergesse ich ja meine Muttersprache. How dare you? What is the meaning of this?
Kommt das war ein Hammer entgegengeflogen.
Well, she teleported away. Get her.
And I just stole his gavel.
The girl, she's gone.
Ist es McGilded oder ist es sie? Man weiß es nicht.
Open your eyes. I don't know.
Ah, okay. Open your eyes. I'm over here. Ja, so ein, oh Gott, sie hat so ein Cockney-Accent wahrscheinlich.
Ja, okay. Cockney, so wie Sarah's Victoria.
Oh Gott, oh.
Good gracious, how?
What was the point in that little sidestep? Oh nein! Ich bin so...
Well, have fun with it.
Oh. I know what you're...
Jetzt weiß ich, was du meinst.
Ich muss mich erst da reinfinden.
I know what you are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. Tis the dirty little dipper, you say, slipped up and got caught on the job. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the gent. Go on. That's what your head's. That's what in your head, ain't it? No, not at all.
This is a court of law. We're here to determine the...
Du bist doch ziemlich grün hier in den Ohren.
Er hat die Granate mit seinen Zähnen gefangen, oder zumindest versucht.
Boys are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers.
Pouchige Bauer?
I'm a professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do.
Let me guess, you don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs?
Oh, this? Yeah, this was in a bag I lifted the other day. Down where they keep the four-wheeled drags. It's nice, isn't it?
She's so British!
I like the pink best.
Do not wave that thing in my direction again.
Scheiße, ich bin zu nüchtern für den Scheiß.
Er ist wirklich so ein bisschen der einzig klar denkende Mensch hier.
Ja. So, I'm gonna take a drink. You admit that you were riding the omnibus on the night in question. It's alright, lass. You can tell them the truth now. Alright, I'll kill them.
It was me.
Alright, yeah. It's just...
What?
What? He's Irish now?
He's not... He's all over the place.
Gott, zeig mal, Gille, zeig mal dein Perso her. Das ist, ey, das kann jetzt nicht wahr sein.
Verdammt, da steht New Great Britain drauf. Flip.
Son of a bitch.
It's just like the Iron Man said.
Iron Man.
The Iron Man. And I am Iron Man.
The court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in this case.
Got into the court record as was.
Yes, she's evidence now. Put her there. Fold her like paper.
Oh boy.
Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on that night in question.
Alright. If I have to.
Yadi yadi da war.
Hat jedes Mädchen bis jetzt irgendeinen Akzent gehabt? Susato hat eigentlich einen japanischen. Dann das Mädel, das russische Mädel hat einen russischen Akzent. Sie hat einen Cockney-Akzent. Hilfe.
Da ist auch die Oma unter den Geschworenen.
Ja, stimmt.
Die kriegt bestimmt auch bestimmt noch irgendwas. Der fehlt ein Backenzahn, keine Ahnung.
What the girl saw.
So, I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up their horses, just like always. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I tell you, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. Then after a while, I hear this loud bang, and nearly jumped out of my skin, I did. And the scream just came out.
Diese Art zu reden klingt ein wenig, als wäre einem die Nase verstopft. Ja. Was
ja,
sind Haars?
Ob das hilft, wenn du halt beim Reden nur eine Nase halt so zudrückst?
Nur eine Nase zudrückst?
Wie viel habe ich denn?
Also ein Nasenloch meine ich jetzt.
It's because of that this swell found me.
He did help me get away, mind. Hey Donny, danke schön für den Clip. Yes, he let you go.
I fail to understand why you would let this street urchin go, Mr. McGilded.
Oh, this simplicity itself, my lord. Here, see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I know he's Irish now, but
no, he's not. She's just dumb.
Und die Musikgeschule ist so französisch.
Ja, immer.
Kein Wunder, dass man mit dem durcheinander kommt. Der ist alles. I knew that for a fact.
How?
As I'm sure I said before, sir.
Weshalb? Alles klar. Und dann kurz einkaufen. Viel Spaß und Erfolg beim Einkaufen dann.
I was sitting right on top of a place where she was hiding herself.
I think a demonstration is called for.
No, please, I don't want to go inside there again.
This is where I was headed.
Sind gerade jetzt bestimmt 5 Leute einfach in diesem, dieser Kutsche drin.
Mach mal Platz.
And the cubbyhole of which you have spoken is underneath this seat, I presume?
Plop.
Yes, it does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature.
Aye, but of course, the real lass has their stock in there. Because I parked myself under the seat for the duration.
Huh?
So you see, that's why I let the lass bolt. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she's done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young life was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent.
Even though you must have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question?
Nah. Not at all, my lord. Not at all. What?
Darauf den gezoomt en zo. What?
I knew in my own heart that I was innocent.
Toll.
Because you can't see me. I don't know why I said that. So I thought I was worth taking a punt in my own good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass.
My goodness. Oh, what a perfect gentleman.
My lord! This fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir.
Endlich. Here we are.
With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time.
But who done it? I mean, thanks, but who done it? And the goal, and the verdict is not guilty.
Saints alive! All 6 members of the jury consensual in their leaning to a verdict of not guilty? This has never happened before!
Mr. Naruhodo, this... well, it must mean...
It must mean what?
the trial is over! And we're victorious!
Champion over glorious!
Nice.
All our friends are glorious. Tonight we are victorious.
I don't know that song.
Was?
Nein, das war gerade real. Das geht so Punkt. I don't know that
What
song.
are you singing? We've won? Are you sure? No, not with 1-6 here. It's so extra.
Ow, my heel.
If the sight of my iron healed Wellington offends,
That's not
pray, do forgive the discourtesy.
Wellingtons sind doch Gummistiefel.
Ja, da siehst du mal, der trägt eigentlich nur fancy aufgemachte Gummistiefel.
This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. That one. Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount.
The head is
Emotion.
paramount.
Paramount. Emotion rules the day.
Emotion.
The witness' latest statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature.
What do you mean, his true nature?
Do you really think Scotland Yard will have made such a glaring omission?
Es gibt auch Wellington Reitstiefel, also vom Stil her. Na gut, okay. Glück gehabt. Glück gehabt, Van Siegs.
Glück gehabt, Van Siegs. Glück gehabt.
Er muss sehr lange Beine haben oder der Tisch muss sehr niedrig sein.
Yes.
After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers by the police.
Trink weniger Wein. Ist deine Aussprache wieder besser. The same procedure, Miss Sophie.
The same procedure as last trial? The same procedure as every trial. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report. Wer es nicht lesen kann, sollte das Saufen einstellen.
Good lord! I need to stop drinking.
The evidence has been tempered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGillicud's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat.
Under the seat.
What?
Order! Order! How could such a devious contrivance possibly have been affected, Counsel?
Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficit.
Wie so Luftballon fällt einfach zusammen.
Einfach so ein bisschen Luft.
Deficiencies.
Deficiencies. I knew that one. Of the I got that. Constabulary.
Was?
Nope.
Constabulary.
Constabulary in allowing this have happen. I should really stop drinking.
So, ich verstehe im Grunde, was er sagt, aber nicht Wort für Wort.
What the fuck is he saying?
Die,
I can make up words too.
ja.
Photosynthesis.
I'm smart too, you know.
Constabulary.
However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning,
Ich glaube, mit Constabulary ist einfach die
Umstände.
Polizeimannschaft irgendwie so, weil Constable ist ja auch irgendwie ein Rang. Oder so ein Offizierstitel.
the compartment under the seat was not empty.
What does it mean it was not empty?
It was full. It wasn't full.
Ja, Polizeitruppe. Okay.
Well, my Nipponese friend.
We're not friends. Me? No.
No,
What's
not,
up, hell?
not you. You.
When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless your examined.
Examined?
Examined.
Haha, doch, examined! Ich wusste es ganz genau. Das war genau wie bei Danganronpa. Examine?
Prejudice!
Ja, das war auch so ein Ding, ey. You examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Practitioner.
Ah, da war gerade so aus zwischen den Zähnen rausgepresst.
Ja. Ich habe da was zwischen den Zähnen noch ein bisschen Salat von gestern. Pray, what did you find the condition of the under-seat compartment to be?
Empty.
Or, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy.
Sorry?
Go ahead. You tell the court now, Farah.
Okay, Vater ist doch ein bisschen mehr Irish.
How is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Siegs?
Stop leading my trials that I'm defending in your name.
Well, Counsel, do you have something to say on this matter?
No.
I'm screwed.
How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? I didn't look. It was empty. It wasn't empty. It was empty when I looked inside it.
Yeah,
And if no one took anything out, then
and it was empty.
it was
Apparently,
empty.
I guess.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Yes, I'm fairly sure it was empty. But what else can I say?
As I suspected.
Immediate headache.
I drank too much. It seems, my lord, that this Eastern initiate has scruples of a by-street wine merchant.
You would know.
Mr. Naruhodo!
I don't even know what he's trying to insult me as.
Perfect. This why the fella is representing me after all.
Because, like, I'm a cheap wine merchant?
He knows just what to say. Does he not? I need a nap. Well now, it would seem this argument is moot. Moot. And the truth of the matter is there, for you all to see, after all. Oh, I'm still talking. The third cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is.
I take offense to that.
Shut up, Kevin.
That we can be sure of at least.
Why do I feel like something's not right here? I mean, not.
Why is the devil named Kevin? What's he doing in this court?
I'm not right. I'm still called Naruhodo here.
I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think.
Well, that compartment is designed house equipment used to maintain them smooth running to the carriage. The guild's rules stated that an omnibus should be properly and fully equipped at all times. So it certainly wouldn't have been empty in the night in question. Pepper isn't irresponsible.
But what if he is? What if it was his plan all along? Dun dun dun.
And now I just remembered he was kind of like a Luigi. Diabetes, something like that.
That money landing flacer and their pig purse are lying.
Suddenly, no, come back.
You disappointed me there, Beichi.
I can't believe I was nearly taken in.
No.
The stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, a lot of them.
Wait, aren't you yourself?
Nope.
What? Oh no.
It's a trick, of course it's a trick.
How unnecessary.
Slap that machine.
Quite so, I must concur here.
Ihr ändert eure Meinung, aber viel zu schnell, viel zu drastisch, Leute.
With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time.
Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems. Voila. End scene.
My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of a not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Inappropriate. Fuck! Inappropriate.
Ja.
Hat das keiner gesehen? Okay, hat keiner gesehen.
Thank you, Counsel. Hat keiner gesehen, but before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please.
Yes, my lord. What just happened?
You got screwed.
The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. Cross-examination. Always. I got nothing. Weil du die ganze Zeit nur unter der Sitzbank gesteckt hast. You can't see a blind thing about how he plays a pitch. Warum dachtest du dann, dass es eine gute Idee wäre?
Vor allem, was mich ja stört, ist ja, wenn es da so dunkel ist und sie nichts sehen konnte, warum hat sie dann so geschrien? Irgendwas musste sie ja sehen.
Ja, sie hat
Da
das...
muss so ein kleines Guckloch gewesen sein.
Oder sie hat das Thud gehört und war... Was macht hier gerade? Puff. And after a while, I heard this loud bang, nearly jumped out my skin I did, and the scream just came out. It's because of that this swell found me. It did help me get away, mind. Mal zurückgehen, bitte. Nein, ich kann nicht zurück. All 60 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent. For one brief shining moment, yes. It's clear that they are all still very unsure. We could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony. I'm sure we could clinch the verdict we want. Yes, I think you're right. And I have this niggling feeling. Something's bothering me. Oh, bother. But I just can't quite put my finger on it. Okay, dann question wir sie mal. So, it's not inside the carriage before they looked up the horses, just like always. Okay. So. Wenn du das immer tust, warum hast du dann dieses Mal nichts gesehen? Und warum dachtest du, dass es eine gute Idee ist? So, you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run? Well, yeah, I mean, what's the point of spending a jury to make a few bob, eh? That's a rum idea, ain't it? Suppose she means there's no point spending money to make money. Yeah, that actually makes sense.
Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief? Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants.
Well, then it does clear up the little mystery of the fathers and all. For paying passengers at 5 pence a piece, making the 20 of each cabinman testified. And one little scapegrace ran for free.
The red conch of a driver always goes for some grub before his last run, see? So that's when I slip into the carriage and get myself hidden under the seat. Nice and easy, right?
But your hiding place is a storage compartment. Full of equipment for the coach, no?
Obviously not. Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck all that out and cram it in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much.
And yet, according to the report filled by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such
Paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia, ja genau.
Parappa the Rapper.
Der plappernde Kaplan.
Ganz genau.
Well, I don't know nothing about that.
Well, then tell me everything.
Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you.
It seems we've reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue.
But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night.
Hold it!
A waste of time. Why is that?
Well, most nights I'm on my own in the god permit at least some of the time.
I beg your pardon? Did you say God permit?
Oh yeah. Well, that's what one kind call it. You'd say the omnibus, I suppose.
The point is, any normal run in the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while.
And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away.
That's it. Only that night... this cove was set on me seat from the start. And he didn't budge the old way, did he? Not 1 inch. I was totally stuck.
Do you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration?
Yes.
Yes.
You were under the seat the entire time while events unfolded in the enclosed cabin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Right, mister?
To be sure. I was as shocked as anyone. You didn't expect to leave the cushion. Yeah, not cushion.
Mm-hmm.
You've been set on to find a child now, do you?
So this Mr. Strahd couldn't possibly be the culprit then.
I tell ya, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch black in there.
Hold it!
So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all?
Not a jot. Most days I push the cushion up with me head and look out of the crack, but then I can have a butcher's at who I'm gonna fiddle.
I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher.
I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other one, see? So most of the time, the passengers planned themselves opposite. But for some reason that night, this here Irishman spent the whole journey right over my head.
And for that reason you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out. I see.
Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown in the clink. But it's the only place to hide in them carriages, so it's Hobson's choice.
Why doesn't she just stick to picking people's pockets in the open then? I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor.
So anyways, I was a bit scared. But I had to just stick it out under there. Nothing else for it. Then after a while, I hear this loud bang nearly jumped out of my skin. I did, and the scream just came out.
Hold it!
When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor?
Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump.
And you let out a scream, involuntarily?
Mm-hmm. That's right. And then I felt the cushion over me get lighter all of a sudden.
Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes.
Or not. It could equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to step his victim. Could it not?
Hat doch erst Thump gemacht.
Well, girl, did you see what happened at that crucial moment?
Yeah, I saw it. I pushed up the cushion and at a quick butcher was while I had the chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up the bloke who would fallen to the floor on the seat opposite. That matches Mr. McGilder's account, of course. But then, the fella suddenly turns around and looks straight at me. I sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. I should have never risked the looking. Because of that, this swell found me. He did help me get away, mind.
Hold it!
And when Mr. McGill discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place. I was scared stiff, I was. He dragged me out and sat me down on the seat and all. Next to the corpse. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason. Yeah, the bloke had a knife in its gut. It was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit and he ended up falling onto me. How awful. Both me hands got covered in blood. Made me feel sick as a dog. Both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw. After that, I believe he talked with Mr. McGilded for a while. Is that correct? He asked me to... he asked me some stuff. Wanted to know me name and what I was up to and that. Then I heard something from above. Someone screamed.
Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, one would presume.
Well, I didn't want no one seeing my face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawn up smartish and this here Irishman says to me, get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later. Ja, haben wir schon. So, where's the contradiction? Let's look into the court record. Bloß die R drücken. That one's an abdomen with a knife while it's turning and on it was there. This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London. Well, nothing will come of grumbling now. No, by the way, is Mr. McGilded right-handed? Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier. Ah, pity. Only he'd been left-handed. I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really. That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, sorry, yes, I just don't really like blades. Oh, those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. That's not a blade, that's Kazuma's soul. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Shing. Ugh, that looks a lot like blood. Surely is blood. The victim's. An Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood. Do you think it wouldn't? Sorry, it's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust. Yes, I do understand. An ornate letter M, deniably Mr. Magnus McGilded's initial. And it's beautifully gilded too, huh? Get it? It must be very valuable, I should think. Ah, what is it? Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This would change everything. W? Yes, this is one of those, you know, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it. I'm afraid I don't know that at all, but what I'm sure of is that this is an M. Oh, well, that idea was quickly quashed. Nothing important here, I guess. Okay. Ja, irgendwelche Ideen.
Absolut im Dunkeln.
You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure.
Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. I'm sure the witness would have been able to see quite clearly.
That's not good for us.
Innen drin ist irgendwie auch nichts, was man jetzt noch großartig untersuchen kann. Naja, you get used to it now. Okay, da saß der Typ, da saß der Gina.
That's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victims, obviously.
Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck.
Would you really stab somebody in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder?
It was after dark, and there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight.
Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack.
Kann ich mir das auch angucken? Ja.
That's blood, isn't it?
Is something wrong?
Oh, it's just, well, this bloodstain is so obvious, that's all. And yet Van Zieks has made no mention of it.
I suppose that does seem a little strange.
Why do I have such a bad feeling about this?
Ich muss mir noch fragen. Also da, wo halt der Blutfleck da auf dem Sitz ist. Da saß er ja, wo er halt gesteppt wurde.
Ja. Da ist er umgefallen.
Aber, ja, da ist er auch umgefallen. Weil, kann auch sein, dass er halt auf dem anderen Sitz halt gesessen hat, dann wurde er abgestochen und dann, dementsprechend fällt er auch um. Und vom Platze her wird er dann eher auch in diese Richtung fallen. Also wo halt dann auch das meiste Blut dann so ist. Und dann hatte vielleicht er ihn dann halt aufgesetzt, auf dem anderen Sitz da gepappt, wo dann halt das Blut auf dem Sitz ist. Also kann sein, aber ich weiß halt auch nicht so wirklich, was das mit dem Fall zu tun hat. Das ist so, es wäre eine Möglichkeit.
That's supposed for the Great Exhibition. That's due to 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the exposition. Bad and foreshadowing, probably.
Oh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzling with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event.
Eine Werbung dafür. That's a poster for the Great Exhibition. That's due to 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower. Was sonst noch das gleiche, nur mit einem anderen Poster. Okay. Dann wird das nicht wichtig sein. The seat looks reasonably soft, but it's actually rather hard when you sit on it. And only just wide enough for the two gentlemen to sit side by side here, really.
Of course, an English gentlewoman would be dressed in such finery.
It would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the roof deck, so she would have to be seated in here. A woman in a kimono would have the same problem. Women's clothes are very impractical, aren't they? You have no idea. And they don't have pockets anymore. Aber wo hat sie das Zeug denn hingetan dann? Andere Ding hat ja keinen. Compartment.
Der hat jetzt alles rausgeworfen.
Einfach raus.
Einfach auf die Straße gejietet, ja. Hat ja keinen gejuckt.
Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is.
Quite a large, Scarlet, isn't it? Yes, quite large, enough to afford a good view into the cabin from the roof deck. And there doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description. I suppose it can't be opened from inside the cabin at least. Also wir haben diesen Blutfleck, den Van Siegs nicht angesprochen hat, und I can't put my finger on it, something's wrong here. Das ist das, was wir jetzt haben. I say we save and then just press.
Wie sehr ich mir hierfür wünschen würde, dass man wie bei Danganronpa solche Truth Bullets hätte. Dass man einfach wirklich von allem irgendwann wüsste, was könnte man jetzt wo benutzen.
Yes, everyone for you around the streets from up here. People all the way up here have bitter winter nights with the cold air rushing past them, and they have to pay money to do so. I can't imagine how cold it must be here. That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the city in the freezing cold as a punishment?
Perhaps that is the real price you pay to stay out late.
Den Typen kann ich mal. Achso, das gleiche.
Also von dem Sitz sieht man halt, ja, Blutflecke und alle.
Lässt mich nicht so reingucken, wie ich es gerne hätte, aber ist okay. Ich glaube, ich werde irgendwo diesen Omnibus präsentieren müssen. Wo genau? Mal gucken.
Let's find out!
Und deswegen wird jetzt am Speicher. Speicher? E-Option?
Oh, 21.8. Tatsache.
Moin, Slot, ich kann es mir leisten. Haben ja ewig Slots und nicht nur ein oder zwei. Luxury.
Na dann.
So,
Ein Error.
let's see.
Stand noch irgendwas im Autopsie-Bericht?
Nee, nur dass er gestochen wurde.
Boah, kann das Ding mal irgendjemand updaten?
No, no. Updated autopsy report. I don't know.
Objection!
Das war falsch. Let's just consider the implications of that statement for a moment, shall we?
Nö. Tomatensaft.
What implications, Counsel? Nothing strikes me about it.
Exactly. There's nothing striking about it.
What does strike me is your propensity for the inane, however.
I need to clear my head and come at this again with a different angle.
Also gepresst hatten wir ja schon alles.
Ja. Ach nein, 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 das wollte ich nicht.
Objection!
Oh, falsch. Okay. Ja, my behavior. Oh, haha, please, don't mind me.
There's something wrong with that, I'm pretty sure. Ist nicht! Okay.
Can you tell me more?
No, you cannot.
That reveals a damaging inconsistency, that last statement.
Am Arsch, Junge!
Oh. Oh. Seems to me that is the damn inconsistency here. The misplaced confidence in your assertion.
War das nicht auch irgendwie, dass der andere noch im Zeugenstand auch noch irgendwie Hinweis geben könnte?
Ja, aber nur beim Pressing. Und er hat ja nie irgendwie reagiert. Normalerweise kriegst du ja noch so ein Ding oder sonst was.
Ja,
Ein
vielleicht
Ausrufezeichen.
vielleicht noch mal probieren irgendwie, weil...
Nein, ach, G. Warum ist das denn auf G und nicht auf Escape? Was soll das denn?
So, hey, volle Herzen, hey, ihr habt nichts gesehen.
Mhm.
Luckily, that was an event that could have happened.
Das war fürs Bad Ending.
Hold it!
Na, 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 na. Look around, look around.
Okay.
He doesn't care.
Okay.
Deswegen ist das kein Pursue, es ist ein... Er reagiert halt nicht.
Ja, und mal weiter drücken, je nachdem, ob sich da vielleicht was verändert. Also halt mal weiterreden lassen.
Ja, 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 ja. Das... Oh. Ja, ja. Zeugs drin. Das habe ich einfach irgendwo in der Ecke gepackt. Und der Polizeityp hat gesagt, es wäre aber voll mit den ganzen Sachen. Darüber weiß ich nichts. Ich hab's bewegt, damit ich darunter passe.
Hold it!
Er bewegt sich aber nicht.
Excuse me.
Let me ask you something, Mr. McGilded. Do you have something to say about that last statement? No, I don't. Yeah, okay. Together happy with what's been said? Kind of yet. Yes, tasked. Ugh. Here, have yourself a tip, thanks. I think I was asking after his general well-being. There's pitch black in there. Also, oops. Also was definitiv irgendwie nicht passt, ist, dass sie meinte, ja, ich hab's zur Seite gelegt und Police meinte, aber es ist voll. Also wird ja irgendjemand diese Carriage arrangiert haben. Next victim. Bleeding. Onto me. Aber wenn er nicht reagiert, kann ich ihn nicht fragen.
Excuse me.
Nee.
Los, mach das öfter.
Ja.
Das sponsort dich.
I want a hint game. I mean, there is some kind of hint, but apparently this doesn't work.
Bin ich auch so kurz davor, in die Komplettlösung einfach zu gucken.
Do it.
Ich,
Okay,
bin auch,
gut,
ich,
den
bin, ich, bin,
Moment.
ich bin auch schon irgendwie dabei. What the girl saw, cross-examination. Press on the fifth statement, then press on the third statement and pursue
Oh, so
Mr.
eine
McGilded on the line.
On the line. Aber er hat sich nicht So, wir haben den dritten, den
I,
fünften haben wir
also,
gemacht.
da steht da, I aim to apply in small dark places. Felt too much like being thrown in the clink.
Okay, tatsächlich, den habe ich noch nicht wieder gepresst gehabt. Dann machen wir das jetzt nochmal. Ich hasse es, wenn man Dinge in einer bestimmten Reihenfolge pressen muss. What is I'm gonna fiddle. I mean, I don't know, push, see. Most of the time, the passengers plan themselves opposite. For some reason, that night, this year, Irishman spent the whole journey right over me head. For that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out, I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown. Du Pisser. Warum hast du jetzt erst reagiert danach? Das macht überhaupt gar
Weil du
keinen
das
Sinn.
nie wieder angepresst hast.
Ja, aber
Ja.
ich habe es einmal komplett in der richtigen Reihenfolge gepresst, ne? Von 1 bis 5. Aber jetzt, wenn ich es nochmal presse, nachdem ich 5 und dann 3 gepresst habe, dann reagiert er natürlich. Das macht überhaupt keinen Sinn.
Ja, weil das jetzt erst zusammen in Verbindung bringt, was da auch immer war.
Es ist trotzdem.
Das funktioniert.
Es ist trotzdem kacke.
Es ist wirklich so, pick doors und finde zufällig die richtige, wenn du aufpasst.
Das macht keinen Sinn, dass man Sachen nur in der verkehrten Reihenfolge pressen muss, so gesehen. Weil sie hat ja ihre Testimony gesagt. Und wenn ich
Ja.
einmal presse, dann müsste er auch wissen, was sie am Ende erzählt hat. Es macht keinen Sinn, erst zu reagieren. So, ach ja, übrigens, bevor du jetzt das nochmal sagst, Wort für Wort, fällt mir was ein.
Oh ja, Mensch. Ach,
Shots for the mouth.
Ja, komm, Junge.
Excuse me.
Is something wrong, Mr. McGilded?
Oh, I do apologize. Was there something that mattered, the council?
I'm just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps.
You seem to be thinking something to yourself.
I was just thinking it took you way too long. Oh, no. It was not important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass, is all.
I slowly begin to believe you actually done it.
I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. It was terrifying, so it was.
That's why you were laughing, I see. Yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I am still scared of the dark now.
Schrankboy.
Aye, and I don't know about myself, yourself. But I find that the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well.
Yeah. I suppose it does. Maybe.
Miss Lestrade? Did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps?
Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring.
I'm Scottish. Be Jarvis, there is no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp.
What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue.
Thanks for putting me through this, then. What should we make of that last statement of hers? Add it to the testimony, because of course, apparently, it's super important. My lord, my liege.
I'm not your liege.
Don't put me on a leash. I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important.
Profoundly important, but all she said was that she heard nothing.
Yes, which is the profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it.
Dann ist das aber egal. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council. Nevertheless...
Ran an die Buletten. Volle Kraft voraus.
Dankeschön. Für den Raid, hallo.
Oder hello, I'm not sure. You have a panda infestation. Oh no. Pandas are raiding. Thank you for the raid. Hello. Hello, welcome.
Willkommen.
And thanks for the follows. Welcome. I hope you're having fun here. We're in the middle of trial number 3. What have you been playing? Yes.
Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please.
I was also playing Ace Attorney. Nice. Are you further in the game, or is it a different game than a Great Ace Attorney? Tell me more. Tell me everything. Let's go. Or is it just what you have been playing? Like, oh, I know what happens now. Great Ace Attorney. Nice. Wait, how hurt are you when you notice they have better voice actors?
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Episode 4. Ah, nice. After this episode. I'm happy. Kick me. We were doing our best, at least. Even with all the dialects.
We try.
What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work on me. It won't work on me. Oh, that's right. Insult the judge. Always a good move. 10 out of 10.
Would recommend.
I'm glad to know there's good voice acting here. Thank you. They can enjoy the game more, yeah. I used to play first 4 Ace Attorneys all by myself. That was training, especially Gumshoe.
How you doing, pal?
Inspector Gumshoe.
Aww. Aww. The emotes are cute. I have also a wiggling eyebrow. Wait, here. Take that. Alright. Then have a good night's sleep. Thank you for raiding. Thank you for looking, for passing by. And I wish you a good night. Ah, so cute. I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Yes, we've been stuck for a while right now, but I hope it will go smoothly from now on. I was straining my ears to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring. Good.
Hold it!
So, you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hit yourself?
Not exactly, no.
Sorry.
Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and have a butcher's to see what was what.
But then, when I saw the swell getting on, I got my ad down so he didn't notice me. And Mr. McGilded sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct?
Yeah. Would you Adam and Eve, eh? What a mock!
He's reacting, I think.
Not really.
Not really.
That's just because of her outburst.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Just 1 second.
Well then, all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out of there as soon as I heard him leave, see? But would he? Not likely. Even though we stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. Uh-huh. I want to press this exact.
Well, then
sentence.
maybe you can use your court record.
I hope. No, it doesn't work like that. I want to press this exact sentence. Give me that. Because you never heard someone enter.
I want to fire the truth bullet so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the wrong game. Damn it.
Okay, go open.
So I just had to stay put and listen to him driving his pigs to market, snoring like an old dog he was. Are there any conclusions? Yeah.
Yeah, it
Doesn't add up.
add up.
There are any conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder. It doesn't add up!
That makes sense.
Miss Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. You mean to say it clearly contradicts the evidence?
At odds? Are you sure, man?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared.
So, Van Zieks realized it too.
Yes, everyone is leading you on here. Especially that guy with a knife.
Counsel! I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least.
Yes, my lord.
I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court.
According to Miss Lestrade, whilst she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilded snoring. But think, Rionosuke, think!
A game ahead of its time.
Yep. Trademark.
What mark?
Trademark. Mark.
Trademark. Trade.
There's something else she should have heard. Person?
Or a person.
Nah, forget it.
Flings the corpse into the courtroom.
Take that!
Clutch.
Oh, like a ragdoll.
Mm-hmm.
Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. This sound very clearly explained by the presence of the following person.
Mr. Mason.
There we are. You're dead.
Because he was getting stabbed.
But also he should have opened the door at some point.
Yes, exactly.
So, present. Take that!
Take that!
Thrice fired Mason?
Mm-hmm. Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus.
Bei dem Mister fehlt doch ein Punkt, also müsste es nicht Mr. heißen.
Mason.
Order! Order! Explain your reasoning, counsel.
Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus. Is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGilded.
That it was. Not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard.
Mm-hmm.
At least, not in plain sight.
So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time?
Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own, for sure. And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Nah, I never heard it. And that's exactly what I was listening for, weren't it? Waiting for this swell to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts.
But he fell through the skylight.
Ja, ich denke auch.
Yes, this pretty statement was clearly flawed.
Lord Van Zieks, refrain from calling her pretty.
Yes. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement.
It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend.
We're not friends. And what are you talking about?
You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruth, nothing more.
I want to cosplay her.
Get right.
But it didn't possibly not have boarded the omnibus.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
And this girl is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that.
I don't believe her. Screw you, girl.
Screw that bitch!
Hey.
Learn some goddamn respect!
She didn't even say anything.
I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has some rather naughty ways. But I must say... I can't abide liars.
And neither can I.
Oh no. Mr. Foreman, no!
I don't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. Witches.
Ah! Oh, the turntabled.
Mr. Naruto, that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty.
Who is the one that didn't?
Das,
In seinem Kopf schon. Celebration times, come on!
Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend.
We're not friends.
Cheers to the considerable troubles you have spared me.
I hope you choke on that drink.
Well, maybe.
Serves you right.
That's very refreshing.
Hat er wieder Tomatensaft.
Ah!
God, what are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Easter man?
Excuse me? Oh.
This is carnage. It's perfect.
Oh god, oh god, oh god.
Oh god, oh god,
Oh.
Warum ist diese Zunge das am meist animierteste in diesem Spiel?
Yes, it tastes like metal.
Base for it. Oh god. Das letzte Stück Nutella, ey.
Ah, sie ist das. Ah.
Yep.
Juror number 2 is the only one left.
Mr. Naruto, the way this is going.
I know, if we can find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGillicud's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost.
I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
No.
Fuck it, I'm just bluffing my way through this now! Yes, the witness' last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case.
Let's bullshit our ways. What are you saying?
Huh?
Counsel?
I'm sorry, sir?
Whatever do you mean?
Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Explain yourself at once!
When the accused boarded the omnibus on this night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand.
And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage.
If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus?
Yes, Prost.
Ich schätze mal, es ist ein Meister vom Himmel gefallen.
There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. He was in there already. There's another entrance. He was put there after he died. Technically, there's another entrance.
I'd say so too.
Dass er durch das
Skylight
Dachfenster.
gekommen ist.
Ja.
Ja.
Well,
Let's try. Oh. If the door wasn't opened even once, not even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
I wonder what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic.
I mean, it was a loud thud. You can't have a loud thud when you just fall off your seat, right?
Exactly.
But a 2-meter drop, that's different.
But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other has only windows. Fixed windows, which cannot possibly open. In short, there's no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Patience!
Tell me!
Tell me! Eine wundervolle Person des Internets. Bin ich hier richtig in Chiaras Stream des Chaos? Indeed, you are perfectly correct here. Willkommen bei uns, hi! Wir klären gerade einen Mord auf.
Und bullshitten uns gerade so ein bisschen durch.
Nein, wir wissen genau, was jetzt vorgefallen ist.
Ja, klar, natürlich.
My dips are on Mr. First. Was nochmal? Der. Der war's.
Ah, Lady First.
Ich finde Person. Ich mag seine unruhigen Pupillen. Ich auch.
Oh, really?
Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door.
Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. With a loud thud.
Show me.
Alright, Counsel, I'm tired of your bullshit. The defense will identify the location for the court, or else. Here's the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim entered the cabin?
Why do we have a drawing now and not the omnibus?
Because it's easier to point at a 2D sketch.
Oh, okay.
Take that.
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight.
I say, the skylight?
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost my words. However,
Objection!
I wasn't finished.
The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
Let me finish. So you claim.
Yes, I do.
But do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle brain theory?
No.
Die Idee war gut.
Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor.
Yes, which has already been explained. As the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with the dagger.
Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses describe?
Maybe he had loud bones.
A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact.
Good gracious!
Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He was thrown into it. He fell into it.
Objection!
Oi. You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin. Are you bullshitting me? That's simply impossible.
Why? How can you be so sure?
Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen.
Mhm. Macht's Klick, mein Freund?
Give me a moment. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony.
Well, maybe because they were the actual murderers.
Oh yes, I actually killed that guy. Can I go now?
I forgot to tell you, I'm sorry.
Ach, da
Oh.
war ja was. Ja, jetzt muss ich sagen.
Yes, well, that's true, but... End stage.
My dear humble fella, make a wee comment here.
Yes, please. Mr. McGildet.
To be sure now, the two fellas who were sat under the roof that testified for said nothing to the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that this is not so much a case of them not saying, but this is a case of them being unable to say.
Well, they're totally able to say, but they don't want to be persecuted. What?
I think perhaps the two fellas probably having something of the compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Oh my goodness, surely not.
Those two chaps on the roof.
Well, I mean, there was who stuck that knife in a man's wear.
Oh,
Oh, Omi.
Omi hat einen ordentlichen Schlüpper gestrickt.
And who was that guy again? Who voiced
Ich
him?
glaube, wenn, dann war ich der, glaube ich.
Ich weiß
Beide?
es nicht.
War ich einer von denen?
Ich glaube, du warst
Der junge Blondling.
War ich
Genau.
der First? Okay.
Ja, ja. Wer war denn Fair Play?
Wer war Fairplay?
Haben wir irgendwie noch.
Mal eben den alten Stream reinschauen.
Warte mal, irgendwo muss das doch noch irgendwo zu sehen sein,
Ja,
wo
ich
das-
hab's
wo die
gehighlightet.
Rollenverteilung ist.
Achso. Ja, wir haben auch manche Sachen spontan geändert, oder?
Ich glaube
Ja, weil
nicht.
plötzlich zu viele Charaktere vom selben Sprecher auf dem Bildschirm waren.
Ja.
Was wir nicht vorhersehen konnten.
Ja, gut. Gut, aber ich glaube, der Richter, den hatten wir auch gewechselt gehabt, weil,
Weil auch der Richter
Stand-
gewechselt hat.
ja. Ich guck mal eben.
Ich glaube, es war Crimson, der den hatte. Guck mal in den alten Stream rein. Great Ace Attorney Part 4. 12. Oktober.
Und ich wusste, ich hatte das Bild mit der Rollenverteilung, hatte ich noch, und dann so, werden wir bestimmt erstmal so schnell nicht mehr brauchen, zack, löschen. Und jetzt, jetzt stehen wir da.
Pause. Da sind sie. Ich hab...
Oh, okay.
Judge.
Who's that? Fair Play!
Rein in die Akte. Heute ist endlich die Auflösung des Cliffhangers. Ja, Delic. Ja, wir müssen eine halbe Stunde durch sein hier.
I can't believe it. The entire crime scene entered as evidence?
Yes,
Yes,
Great.
yes.
Ich möchte gerne Kann ich die Witnesses bitte... Nein, ich will... Nein.
The greatest mystery of this chapter. Who voiced Fair Play?
Kann ich das nicht irgendwie mit 10 Sekunden vorspulen? Ja, kann ich. Geil. I can do that. Ah, nein, da sind sie nur eingegangen. Die sagen nichts. Von Siegs. Judge. Komm schon. Wer kann es denn sein? Oder. And the witnesses. Beppo. Okay. Fairplay war Shadow.
Oh. Okay. Fine. I'll take him. Alright.
Fünften war Beppo. Du warst Fairplay, ich war First.
Ah, jetzt wissen wir, who's on first.
Ja. Oh, who's on second?
Just what exactly are you insinuating here? You blitherer!
Oh, you rotter, he said. You rotter.
Was macht er denn?
Also, was ich höre ist,
What are you insinuating?
Er ist im Cartoon, ey.
ja.
This is a flaming outrage. If you're a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute.
He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I.
Mr. Fairplay.
You're effectively accusing me, a city champion and a well-respected banker.
And me, a very angry hatter.
A Mad Hatter?
Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disagreement.
Oh yeah, he did that.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot that.
It's scandalous. It's. I protest in the strongest possible terms.
That's right, I protest too. About you, you rotten scoundrel.
Und er feiert sich einfach rein.
Order! 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 This is not the time, witnesses! I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the ante-room at once.
But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous.
It's very hurtful, you know.
My lord, if I may command.
Go ahead, Lord Van Zieks.
It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof.
We're not friends.
Ruft er gerade aus der Entfernung einfach. Ja, er ist gerade kurz aufs Klo gegangen, während sich das abgespielt hat.
Accuse? I never intended to.
It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting.
I speak fluently, shut up!
You propose to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus.
And did I fucking stutter?
That hypothesis...
Trink noch einen Schluck.
Mach ich mal lieber!
Skull.
That hypothesis... Ganz schön besser, huh? Cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events.
Tausch mal auf den Tisch.
You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimidated their criminal guilt. In our British court of law, this is what is termed a baseless accusation.
Hallo Marcel, guten Abend.
Was haben Sie gesagt? Hab ich gestottert ab? I know I was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought.
What are we wasting time for? Get them to testify!
I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow.
Which fellow, which head?
We have to see the matter through now. One way or the other.
If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once.
Testify! Testify!
What's happening, Mr. Naruto?
Open song.
Schönes mit Eis. Mit Eis. Schönes mit Eis.
The spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy. Oder! Ah, jetzt diesmal nicht? Schade.
Schnell, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First.
Oh, what should I call you, Mr. Worst?
Hey!
Hey!
Unfair play, Mr. Worst.
My lord, where did you come from? I suddenly became blind and deaf. What's happening?
Oh.
You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony. In reference to the indictment brought by the defense.
Yes, my lord. What?
I didn't come here for this. I just came out to have a good time, and honestly, I'm feeling so attacked right now. There's no time to think this through. There's no time to waste. All I can do is keep pushing forward. Refuting the accusation.
We were the only two people up on that roof deck, dead or alive. I can swear to that.
If anything had happened where we were sitting, don't you think one of the other of us would have noticed?
In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man.
Skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you! We couldn't possibly have opened it!
If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof?
I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine.
Das ist vor allen Dingen dass Beppo das nicht mitgekriegt hat.
Der war zu tief vorn.
How either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith.
Ja, ihr habt zusammengearbeitet, das ist ganz einfach.
That's right. We worked together. You say we didn't do it.
Where is it? I tell you! Ich muss gleich einen Donald nehmen und dem diese Klamotten anziehen.
Einfach Screenshot machen.
Although logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another.
Hey, look, she's smart.
Mm-hmm.
What? What? According to investigations by Scotland Yard, it's blank like this paper. The two witnesses share no common dealings.
Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich.
Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy?
Because there's still a trap waiting for you.
Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord.
Gaga cross-examination.
You swear.
Swear to me.
So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck.
Absolutely not. Dickon! Language, baby.
No question about it, he said. Not at all. Oh, but yes, of course. I remember seeing them both. Ich wollte gerade sagen, könnt ihr nicht einfach sagen, weil Mr. Mason angeblich eingestiegen ist? Das sollte euch ja aufgefallen sein, eventuell. Oh Gott, ist der miese. I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here.
What? Oi!
Is this true, Mr. McGilded?
Nah. Dear me, my lord, at the risk of repeating myself. I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately.
That's outrageous lie. Without a doubt, you were engaged.
Let me stop you here, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? At all? These are about evidence in this court these days, so it is. You do well to remember that.
No, I saw you with my own eyes.
This is going so well.
Yes, it's all going in your favor.
If anything had happened, we were sitting, you think one or the other would notice. Yes, exactly.
Hold it!
You accomplices? Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark, perhaps too dark to see clearly.
Is this some kind of a lark?
Is this some kind of a joke, he said? Is this what it is? Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly?
Are you fair dinkum, sir? Dinkum?
Are you serious, sir? That's why he said. It's impossible, I tell you.
I'd give you the key to the vault if you could fall asleep in a bit of cold.
Well, you can, but then you'll die.
And if you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you would never open them again.
That's not how it works, technically, but yeah.
You have to get someone pee on your eyes.
Ugh, that's extreme. It was extreme, I tell you, and we had to put up with it because this man had locked the door.
And he peed on our eyes.
Any true gen would have unlocked it and let me in for sure, when I knocked.
Did you, though?
I'm dreadfully sorry about that, young fella, that I peed on your eyes. But, you see, I was away with the fairies, and I didn't hear you at all.
Ja, von wegen geschlafen, du warst einfach nur high as fuck.
That's a lie! I saw you through the glass. You were talking to someone.
Talking to myself? When I was asleep? No. 'Twas a cold night, what it was. People do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold. This hardly surprising.
Saying things!
Oh, wie gut einfach.
I believe we have reached an impasse here on this particular point.
Oh, you!
Don't target person in loud, lad.
Ich kann's leider nicht.
If I'm the suspect in that case, then it's only fair that you and the other fiend are too. Open and free competition is what the capitalist society is all about.
Welp.
He's half right.
Open and free competition. Ja, und dann schon mal was von Monopoly gehört.
Ja.
Oh, Guybrush!
Sie sollten bauen.
Ah! Ich werd so Hass schieben, wenn ich Monkey Island spiele.
Zu Hause ist es doch am schönsten.
I don't have a house.
Ich finde sie alle schuldig. Allesamt ins Verlies! This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really. Ich hab gar kein Auto. Ich habe gar kein Auto. Ach nee, falsche Werbung. Oh. Viel Werbung, ey. Also, press. So, you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before?
Oh, Lumi, no, not once, never.
We'd never met the man before, we said. Never! And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir.
No, I imagine not.
You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have the remotest connection to the gentlemen who were inside the cabin.
Oh-ho. Mr. McGilded?
Present. Yes, Counsel. What can I be doing for you?
Did the witness's last statement give you a pause for thought somehow?
Not the remotest connection. Is that right now? I wonder.
What are you insinuating now?
Ah, Mr. Fairplay. That's been too long, so it has. If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe this fast approaching. Is it not? Your repayment date.
I beg your pardon?
You'll borrow 20 guineas from me, sir.
At an considerable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion.
Well now, is that a charge of
Grudgery?
Begrudgery, is it? That sort of begrudgery
that might motivate a fellow to pass his crimes off another?
Huh?
And young Mr. First.
Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir?
Your head looks stupid.
Oh, that's right, sir.
You do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat slidden about on your head, is that one of your own creation, is it?
So you're not a very good hatter.
You probably should be starting good at it.
Well, I'm still just an apprentice, you understand. I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door. I'm not very good at making hats for myself, either.
The perfect fit, is it? Well, this a very distinctive design to this.
Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive look. Just so you know.
Customers such as Cersei Faird Mason.
Oh.
There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence before, my lord.
Oh, this you mean?
It is an ugly hat. I mean, it is a very distinctive
I
hat.
can't help thinking that the poor fella hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say?
Oh. That's one of my hats.
And now we got the motive. He made the hat. He said the hat is ugly, and that's why he has to die. Aye, that's it is. So it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of customer, I'd wager. You could have had a wee quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods.
Oh no, sir. Absolutely not, sir.
Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas were having the remotest connection to the victim, you see? And scene. I rest my case, and I end my turn. You little weasel, Scotsman, motherfucker.
He's better at this than I am.
Gosh, Mr. McGill has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he?
I just came here today.
Please, don't let me a little interruption hold up the proceedings.
Proceed, yes.
Proceedings.
Ja, ja.
Proceed.
Es ist hier nicht Snowgrave, Leute.
Das ist nicht was?
Next.
Snowgrave.
No, don't tell him.
Don't tell her.
It's a spoiler.
Okay, Delta Rune.
So. Let's move on. Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time?
I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute.
He's going to lose his rag with you in a minute, that's what he said.
His rag?
Take a look take a look for yourself. Go on. I'm gonna spank you with my stick.
Ah, guck mal, man kann's öffnen.
You see, it's shut fast now. Just like it was on that night.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, of course, a feather the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it. Still and all. What? Just looking at the size of the thing, you'll understand. No. Now you hold there in a minute, sir. The size of the thing means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we?
Let's stop biting your cane, shall we?
I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind. Loudly. I shocked myself with it, as it happens.
Really?
What? You scared yourself by farting? This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First. This is actually a first in this courtroom.
I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see.
And
But-
you shit yourself.
Just my luck, I couldn't make it budge.
The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as rogue, I did.
Well, as you should.
Are you expecting me to sentence you?
No, sir. The point is that the skylight can't be opened. I tried and I tried. When I was inside that cabin of shame.
Yeah, but you cannot open it from the inside.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade!
I have to finish my animation first. It opens. The skylight. That is what we're talking about, right? All them skylights open dead easy.
More easily than you can load the weapon?
That's a lie, I tell you, otherwise when I broke wind, You can't do it from inside, you mug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags, and I had a great awe. I mean, I had purses coming out me ears.
Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities.
Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't opt off the bus and leg it. So what I did was, I used the skylight, opened the catch, and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch for the skylight is on the top side. That's why you can't open it from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck.
Bailiff!
Do just that.
Climb up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify the witnesses' claims.
Ah, so.
Ding.
Ah, my hat! Oh, my hat. See, told you. Just like that.
Order! 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 So it appears that this street girl's statement is quite true.
I don't believe it. The skylight opens. And from the roof deck.
Mr. Naruhodo, this could be the clue we've been looking for.
Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. So, this skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself.
Sie hat das Skylight geöffnet, sie ist eine Hexe. Ich baue den Scheiterhaufen auf.
Oh, das war ein schönes Feuer. Where's your proof? I have it right here, actually. That's a very good point. Can examine it first too, as well. No, just to be sure. Does it open now? So, the skylight was fastened shut before,
But now the catch has been undone, we should be able to open it.
Zip. Ta-da! You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure.
Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin.
So I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. No, this is perfect for us, believe me. Wenn ich reingehe, ist das Ding dann immer noch offen. Let's open and get inside. Yes. Shut up, Naruhodo. Ta-da! Fuck you, it's open. That's the whole point of this thing, isn't it?
Da war doch.
Ah, Tomatensaft.
Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through.
Susato?
This is Omnibus.
This is London! Wide enough to kick
works.
someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo.
Why someone like me?
Ah,
What is it?
look, just there. Look at this.
That's without question.
It's blood. Why would there be a blood stain there? Surely, it can't be unrelated to the case, can it?
Uh-huh. Ta-ding.
Ich bin mir ziemlich sicher, sie hätte es liebend gern ausprobiert, ihn von da runter zu schubsen. Mitten im Gerichtssaal. Alle gucken zu und denken sich einfach nur so, the fuck?
Das geht nicht so schön.
Ich glaube, wir haben das jetzt in
Ja, the fact that there's blood there. Ich hab's aus Versehen gedrückt. Surely
Ach so,
to imply
okay.
that whoever was bleeding passed through the open skylight, doesn't it? Ich wollte eigentlich Y drücken, aber ich bin auf... Ich habe meinen Daumen genutzt und bin auf Leerzeichen gekommen.
Ah ja.
And this is why I don't do rhythm games. So. Achso, nee, ich wollte presenten, richtig. Take that.
Objection!
Objection!
On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. And immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts. And the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. Ah!
What? That's all. Humbug! Humbug! We have any evidence?
No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you, it's impossible.
irrefutable.
Refute.
Use easy words, buddy.
Nope.
Irrefutable proof. Here, in this courtroom.
Was? Eindeutige Beweise?
In
Im
meinem
Gerichtssaal? Wo gibt's denn sowas? Das hier ist nicht Ace Attorney.
Preposterous.
Counsel,
My lord?
I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here.
There's blood! Can't you see?
Where exactly within the omnibus is this evidence to which you allude? You will point out what it is that proves the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight.
Right. There you go.
Ta-da!
Gotcha.
By Jupiter, is that blood?
This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open.
What?
And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my! And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime.
Order, order, order!
Gewalt gegen Möbel!
Hold it!
Oh, er sagte.
But,
No buts!
Auf hinter zu sagen!
I like butts. But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stepped inside the cabin.
Wie ein Wasserfall. Huch.
Was?
Wie ein Fountain, wollte ich sagen.
Achso.
War ja auch so, ja, aber was ist, wenn das Blut einfach so weit hochgespritzt ist?
Ja.
Das ist einfach...
And only found its way to it on one particular spot under the skylight. Sure. And that would be very convenient.
Yes.
And let's keep it in mind that the skylight catching can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I?
But,
No buts!
there's no way to know who for certain is there. If the gent really fell through the skylight, I mean.
Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. Forrest? Guck da.
Dun dun dun.
These are too plain, if you see. There's an aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from the fair fight. Right there. So it is.
What? No.
But it can't be. It's all.
All lies!
My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we?
I believe we can, yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom.
So they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they?
Excalibur.
Scheiße.
No. I won't tolerate any of the guild's courage being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it.
Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing.
You turned on him twice.
On three then, everyone. 1, 2, not it.
3.
Three!
Objection!
No!
Oh, god damn it.
Chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh, and what would you prefer referring to there now, Lord Van Zeeks? A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void.
Why?
In what universe?
What? Why? Just because you say so? Fuck off.
For one extremely simple reason.
It could be someone else's blood. Oh ho 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 ho.
Because I say so. That smear of blood never existed.
You,
What?
Are you blind?
Godot? The second or the first? I planted it there. Did you fumble with the evidence? Yes, I did. Fuck you.
Es ist nicht im Polizeibericht, also zählt's nicht.
Deine
What
Mutter.
are you talking about? It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood. No, it's tomato sauce. I planted it there.
Objection!
I tempered with the
I
evidence.
personally attended Scotland Yard investigation of the omnibus.
Yeah, and Scotland Yard apparently wasn't clever enough to open the skylight.
The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb.
Sie durchkämmten die Wüste.
We ain't found shit.
So I can state with absolute certainty,
They're blind.
they're all dumb as bricks. No such smear of blood existed in the carriage.
Ah yeah, and the pool of blood in the middle of the carriage also didn't exist, or?
Nope. At least not until this trial began.
No one was in
And
there.
where's your proof of that?
But
Are you suggesting, Lord Van Zeeks, that this stain of blood was...
Fabricated, my lord? Yes. And while this court has been in session,
was sagt er von wegen? Ja, das war jetzt die Lestrade, während sie uns alle mit der Smoke Gun.
Naja.
What? Time to drag out this trial even further, unnecessarily.
What a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zeeks.
You almost slipped into Nagito there.
Ich hab's gemerkt. Ich hab doch mal die Kurven gekriegt. But I'm Magnus McGillett, a fella known all over the capital for his fine contribution to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling over the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey. Mr. McGill.
Warum musst du eigentlich die ganze Zeit mit dir selbst diskutieren?
Ich rede halt selber mit mir. Es ist halt so ein Tick von mir. I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused.
Also, nach allem, was ich gehört habe, bin ich mir sicher, der Richter war es. Auf den Stuhl mit ihm!
Er sitzt
aber
auf
schon.
einem Stuhl.
Können wir den Van Zeeks bitte aus dem Gericht entfernen?
However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. What are you talking about,
Silence!
buddy? You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in investigated, you adapt the facts.
Adapt the facts? What does that even mean?
Let me take a drink first. When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGillet's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible, Toyota. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, tripping witnesses.
Bribing!
Bribing, Mann! Ich bin der
Tripping Witness, ja, alle Zeuge halt beigestellt. So, ihr könnt jetzt nichts mehr sagen, ihr geht erstmal zum Zahnarzt.
Eben, ja. It's all the plan. I know what I'm saying. Damn it. Excuse my stupidity, I respond such. I chose your ability to concoct. I don't want to visit this convention. The most convenient of stories, sir. Tut, Lord Von Six. This will not do, to be sure. Would it not, Council?
No, definitely not.
I think it's fair to say this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man.
I agree.
The blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say?
Yes.
But if yours will all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus has been in the courtroom the entire time? How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without a word and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, Council?
It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that the court has been in session.
My learned friend.
I'm not your friend!
Give it time. Here, I'm sharing a drink with you, friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter in your own words.
Leonos geblieben das Glas abnehmen und dann lässt er einfach so, ups. Oh.
It slipped.
As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think...
Could someone please explain me what the fuck just happened?
I mean, if we say it could have been possible, we're digging our own graves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's out of the question. Basically. But then what? Das ist doch dieses Problem. Er zwingt uns jetzt ein Negativ zu beweisen.
Ja.
Ich weiß gerade wirklich nicht mehr, ob der Blutfleck auf dem Boden vorher schon da war.
Der war die ganze Zeit da.
Da war die ganze Zeit, den haben wir gesehen.
Ja, auch im letzten Stream?
Ja.
Ziemlich? Oder war da ein Teppich?
Ja,
Nee, da war kein Teppich.
Na, da war kein Teppich.
Carriage.
Also da war Blut.
So I had few.
Das Blöde ist, dass ich natürlich nicht mehr weiß, wie es vor 4 Monaten aussah. Aber er war ja so von wegen, dieser Fleck Blut auf dem Boden. Warum hat Van Six das nicht angesprochen? So, ich bitte das Gericht, mich schuldig zu sprechen, dass ich mich schon nach kurzer Zeit verabschieden muss. Aber ich muss jetzt
In Knast mit ihm.
auf den Weg zum Theater machen. Ach ja, du guckst. Du bist ja der feine Herr, der sich jetzt heute ein Stück anguckt. Ich sehe mir das Finale im VOD an. Vielen Dank, viel Spaß euch noch und bis zum nächsten Mal. Dir auch viel Spaß, Marcel. Berichte uns
Bis dann.
davon. Mach's gut. Und werft sie alle auf den Scheiterhaufen. Yes. Da draußen.
Den Stuff kriegst du aber nicht.
Stimmt, dann geht jetzt der ganze Stuff. Doof, ne?
Ah, doof.
Oh, du hättest Mr. Masons Hut haben können.
Und das Messer.
Oder die Brille.
Oder den Schnauzer, Bruder.
Au.
Den braucht er ja nicht mehr. Ich meine, wir können ja speichern, oder?
Ja.
Jetzt, glaube ich. Doch, die Options ist da, ja.
Natürlich, wir können speichern. Hey. Geronimo und so.
Wenn ihr von draußen geguckt, what the fuck?
Ich will Fairplay Stocker. Aber der ist doch schon angekaut.
Das ist wie so ein alter, keine Ahnung, Filzstift oder so. Mit angekauter Kappe. Geht.
Da.
Hä? 500 was?
500, right?
Ich glaube, das soll auch eine Null sein.
500 Batsch. Ach, Follower. Dankeschön.
Ah.
Denke ich. Müsste es sein.
Ja, die haben, glaube ich, bloß noch 2 oder so gefehlt gehabt.
Yay. Ich finde schön, dass die Thumbnails bei Twitch genau das anzeigen, was man gerade dann sieht, wenn man draufklickt, nicht. So.
Ich weiß nicht, was du meinst.
Was?
So, ich sehe. Guck auf den Boden. Da war... Stimmt!
Da war Blut.
Nee, war es nicht. Da ist kein Blut
Was?
drin. Vor der Pause, also ne, vor dem Recess, war kein Blut auf dem Boden und es war das Zeugs unter dem Sitz. Das Compartment hatte was drin.
Oh.
Leonoske, irgendwas ist komisch. Willst du nicht sagen, dass es das Komische ist, dass da vorher was drin war? Nein, irgendwas ist komisch. Ich weiß nicht was. Was hast du für ein 5-Sekunden-Gedächtnis, Junge?
Okay, dann ist es dann doch Tomatensaft.
Could have been possible. Wenn wir ehrlich sind. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best as I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. We cannot let the truth slip. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility.
Oh,
Good gracious! Explain yourself, counsel!
Yes, there is. It seems my learned Nepalese friend
I'm not your friend.
has no intention of running from this deceit.
Deceit?
I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly what happened 10 minutes ago, the recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Jetzt haben wir Flashback.
Bang!
Bang, bangity bang.
Verdammt!
Bang, 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 bang.
Wir teilen uns wieder eine Hirnzelle.
Ach ja.
What's going on?
Be careful, Mr. Naruto. Naruto, cover your face.
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus.
I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom.
Hey, it's a good thing we get a flashback.
The courtroom was filled with smoke and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos. I took a 360. It could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. No.
No, that's the wrong theme. That's Supersonic Steel Samurai. Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten, freckless gaucher?
Feckless Gosher? I don't know what that means.
You're supposed to be defending me.
Yeah, but I'm also here for the truth.
This is wicked plot. This is a plot to undermine me. So it is.
Objection!
But then jetzt. Whatever you think it is, it's changed nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialize in relation to the omnibus.
Inconsistencies, such as.
To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passages.
Suddenly empty.
When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning.
Also the blood on the floor.
Unfortunately, Lord Van Zieks, no one is able to corroborate your claims.
Because we just forgot what happened and what we investigated 20 minutes ago. That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut.
Accordingly, I'm afraid to say we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not.
Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things.
What do you think?
Sorry?
About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus?
My lord,
Yes, counsel?
there is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial.
What?
What in the devil's name did it, Kevin, are you going to say now? If you're there to betray me, you little maggot.
Silence, Mr. McGilded. The court awaits the defendant's clarification.
This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception.
Neither do we.
It's a roller coaster of emotion.
What am I supposed to believe here? The facts?
I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. Where exactly is this alleged mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial?
A blood stain on the ground?
This one. Take that.
Got it!
If we consider that the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this bloodstain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom.
Good lord! Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel.
Well said. Can I go home now? Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue.
I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake.
This trial is over.
Mr. McGilded?
I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but these are over now.
But you're the defendant!
Tis over, I tell you.
Are you having a breakdown?
Memory, recollection. What people think these are nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the facts is That bloodstain is there now.
Well,
And over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been,
The writers are aware.
that good for nothing Reaper of the Rebellion has failed to present any received evidence at all.
Are you shitting me?
I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Farseeks. Well, my lord?
Well, I wasn't paying attention. I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence. And in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence,
you were all there!
I regret to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue.
Your lordship can't be serious.
Lord Van Zieks, what is your position?
I'm standing right here. The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present.
Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first.
What formality?
As things that stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGildet will be found not guilty.
Yes.
Which would mean we've won.
Is that really the right outcome here?
Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now with all these unexplained inconsistencies?
Let the trial come out of the closet.
Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please.
Coffee, hi! Weasel, weasel, weasel. Wie geht's?
Yes, my lord. The defense believes.
Could be guilty.
Oh, wow, wow.
I am here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGildet. However, at this moment in time, I cannot in all good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence.
What are you saying, bro?
Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent.
Good gracious me!
Ja, du hast endlich Monster Hunter. Viel Spaß beim Suchten.
Order! This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer calling the accused's innocence into question? Are you of sound mind?
No, I'm of justice.
It was a grand decision of appoint you as my lawyer. So it was a grand decision.
What?
I must say, I didn't expect quite such an exciting spectacle at the end there. But still. Here, have this for your troubles.
Cool,
Thanks.
€5.
Stop throwing money at me.
Your job here is done, fella. And some fine work you're done. So you have.
What do you mean? You're dismissed.
This just as the right honorable gentleman so succinctly put it afore. Okay, see, true. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, How did he put it, nothing more than a formality.
Oh. Still over. But they're still the jury, and we all think you're fucking sus now.
I really don't know what to make of all this.
What's the evidence we're seeing, Junior? Or was it fake?
His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said.
What a shit ton of fuck.
The stinking rich are always guilty of something. You mark my words.
I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely park.
Ich fange langsam an, die Oma nicht mehr zu mögen.
Ich bin sehr verwirrt von der Oma.
Ja.
Now that proceedings have unfolded in this way, I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea.
And scene.
Sieht immer ein bisschen aus, als würde er versuchen, so einen Doctor Strange-Exit zu machen.
Ja, irgendwie so. Da meine ich hier. I thank you kindly, my lord.
I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Unentschieden.
It's a draw.
But there's we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth.
Lord Van Zieks,
My lord.
the case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place.
My sincerest apologies, my lord.
But wait, there's more. When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zieks ordered the evidence to be secured.
I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter.
That's so unfair.
The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment. What?
Well, Lord Van Zieks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fellow, I couldn't have asked for a better defense.
Do you mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time?
'Tis the law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue the matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law.
Wait for Phoenix and the Dark Age of the Law.
Magnus McGilded.
Oh, good grief! You've more to say to me, have you?
Just one thing. A warning. This is far from over.
Well, something to be looking forward to then.
I feel dirty.
I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGilded,
Not guilted, maybe.
Not guilted. Yeah.
Ja,
lass es
Feuerwerk
durch
geht.
sein.
Oh, super Idee, ihr. Ja,
Feuerwerk.
always a good idea.
Ich hab nur nicht getroffen.
Müssen die beiden Stühle,
Believe
also
it.
alle Stühle...
This is an outrage. They should have examined the evidence more. What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. He's innocent.
Aber müssen die Stühle nicht alle weiß sein jetzt? Weil
Nö,
wir haben-
Nö, die sind ja nicht mehr
nicht.
vonnöten.
Außerdem
Ach so,
haben sie
okay.
nicht mehr dafür gewotet. With the courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict, and my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end. With the defendant being found not guilty. Ostensibly a victory for us. A bitter one. Well, the good news is you can stay in London. Bad news is, well,
You can stay in London.
That certainly was a long trial.
oh, you should see that fifth case of Ace Attorney.
You saw nothing.
Ah, yes, it was.
Your first ever trial on foreign soil and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations.
And to you, Miss Sosato, thank you for your assistance. And you for existence. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened.
Well, we didn't have enough time.
But isn't that wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that.
The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that
Exonerates the defendant.
you carried out your duty to perfection.
That is definitely McGilded.
Yeah.
Aye, that you did. Hello.
Mr. McGilded. And that girl is with him too.
Well, it seems the stories are true.
Oh, what stories?
About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there's a verdict of not guilty.
In an enclosed space. With people.
I'm sure you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Definitely.
I did, it was a sight of behold. And to be sure it was. And I've you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything.
What on earth are you saying, fella? How did I walk out of here a free man then?
You did most of the work yourself.
I don't think it was so much thanks to me as
Down to your planning.
You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? I must say. You led me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. He's water under the bridge.
Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared.
But nothing resolved.
Nah. There's only one thing that matters to me.
Oh?
Aye. They've all seen what I didn't do. That odious and obstinate deed. This grand, is it not?
I suppose it is.
Now the fine fellows of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. Ka-ching! They'll see it for what it is. They'll get the truth. Have an absolute faith in them. So I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wage with all the taxes I
I was
pay.
about to say, you're the one paying them.
It's not that funny.
But I'm laughing. So then, as we agreed beforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella.
Will nicht.
Oh, no. I couldn't possibly accept that much.
Oh, ah, Arara, be whist. You're a humble person, are you? You're from the east. Well, if you insist. But have this. Still and all, you deserve a reward.
Thanks, got already 10 of them.
Mr. Magnus McGilded.
Oh shit.
Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom.
Into the courtroom.
What's this, officer? This sooner than I have led to believe.
I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule.
Well, I must be making tracks now. This time for the inspection.
Sorry? What inspection?
They're going to examine? Fuck. Shitting word? I hate it. The omnibus again, is what I'm told. I'll ask if I could be present for it myself.
They're going to examine it again? Now?
Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstated member of London society, I do be doing my best to help where I can. This is a gentleman's duty, so it is.
Yeah.
So then, fare thee well. Fare thee well, so rum. Nicht fahr.
Go
It was an
far
absolute
away.
pleasure meeting you. Yeah. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain.
And there he goes. A free man.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bye.
Oh, I forgot she was here too. 5 Meter Abstand, mein Freund, oder du kriegst Gas ins Gesicht. Don't move.
Give me all your money.
Whereas I want to say, gotta move on. It really does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down?
Gas, Bösewicht. You're a grown-up.
Well, I'm not that much older than you are. Sorry.
And I ate all grown-ups.
Okay, then.
Spoiler alert, you're becoming one too.
Ah, there you are.
Ah, there you are. Naughty, naughty, running off like that.
Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now?
And taking that with you as well? I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. I have my own one.
Oh, what?
Do you want to play? You won't beat me.
Excuse me, but who are you?
Excuse me, but what the fuck?
Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
The inventor.
Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. If you have to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself.
Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though? At all?
Also, wouldn't colorful grenades just lead straight to you?
I just took my eyes off it for a moment whilst I was changing into a different omnibus. And she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon.
What's it what? I have no idea what this girl is talking about.
Anyway, you're coming with me now. Back to my laboratory.
What? What for?
To apologize, of course, silly. To my technician.
What? You mean say you sorry?
You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before.
An adult?
I don't listen to no adults. Come along then, follow me. Fine. Have it your way.
Have it your way. We could go to Burger King and have some chicken fingies.
Oh, good. You see, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end.
I'm fairly sure that what she wants is not to get shot by that massive gun of yours.
End scene.
That's my line.
We'll be leaving then now. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss.
Wish she was a lively one. Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way too now? Yes, you're right. But... where to?
Oh,
We haven't had any time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff.
I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings.
But at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck.
Don't worry though, I have a plan. If the worst comes to the worst, I've heard of a lovely park
No.
where we could spend the night.
No. Please tell me you're not thinking of McGillet Park.
I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but it's February! And your youthfulness will see us through.
Our usefulness will see us through. I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person's solid just as easily as an elderly one.
Dear, that doesn't sound agreeable.
Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGildet down. That 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room or mansion. Mr. McGildet, come back! I want my wage, please. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned. The case was far from over.
What's going on? Get the fire brigade!
Oh, good.
Ich hab doch gesagt, ne? Feuerwerk im geschlossenen Raum.
How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
Uh-oh.
Oh oh.
Hurry up, man!
Steh nicht so rum und laber nicht.
This can't be.
No one's helping!
Wow. Alter, ich komme hier ein bisschen Case-Free von Danganronpa 2 Vibes, ey.
The end.
Oh Gott. Oh, die Karre, die wackelt und poltert. Da ist irgendeiner drin. Lass uns einfach nur dumm rumstehen und gaffen.
Ja, ich habe auch keine Lust, mich zu verbrennen. Hallo?
Ah. Na, wer wird dann diesmal verantwortlich sein für diesen, was da am Ende dabei rauskommt? Ja, alle, weil alle nur dumm rumstanden und nichts gemacht haben.
Tja.
Beihilfe zum Mord, offensichtlich.
Ja, wie was Marcel gesagt, ne? Auf dem Scheiterhaufen mit allen. Alle,
Aber er hat das
alle
Feuer
schuldig.
verpasst! Oh.
Ah, doof.
Als hätte er es gewusst. Das kann man
Moment,
nicht
vielleicht
spoilern.
war das eine Androhung. Vielleicht war er es ja.
Marcel,
Er hat das Feuer gelegt und hat sich dann ins Theater verpisst.
I
Aber
see.
ich meine, McGildet ist da drin wahrscheinlich verbrannt, so wie Van Siegs geguckt hat. Und von daher
Vermutlich.
ist das okay.
Hopefully.
But I like that guy, kinda.
Da siehst du, beim Brandschutz steht die Sicherheit der eigenen Person über dem Versuch, einen anderen zu retten. Alles in Ordnung. Wir sind gesetzlich
Arsch.
abgesichert.
Gut. Dann war das Episode 3.
Yay, meine Stimme ist voll schottisch. Oh nein, he's an Irishman. The fuck he is?
Something British.
Ist irgendwas dazwischen.
Welsh.
Ja, das war hätte ich aber absolut nicht sprechen können. Weil ich auch nicht so wirklich weiß, wie die sprechen.
Die haben ja noch ganz andere Macken.
Ja,
Dann
der
will ich
längste
mal
Ortsname der Welt oder so war das, glaube ich.
direkt rüber reden zu der Dedek Entertainment, zu Nini's Stream, wo
ja.
wir das Ende
Ach,
von
ja.
The Suicide of Rachel Foster jetzt noch hoffentlich mitkriegen. Also dann. Habt viel Spaß da. Vielen Dank fürs dabei sein. Vielen Dank fürs Mitmachen.
Ja, immer wieder gern.
So, und dann können wir uns noch absprechen, wann es das nächste Mal weitergeht.
Also nicht
Jo.
vor in 2 Wochen.
Okay.
Was?
Ich bin nächstes Wochenende nicht da und ich weiß nicht, wie es an dem darauf aussieht. Also sage ich einfach mal die 2 Wochen schon mal nicht.
Okay. Gut. Na dann. Und ich wünsche euch eine gute Nacht. Bye bye. Let's read. Let's read. Ich hätte schon mal klicken können, aber ist egal. Lasst mich schöne Grüße da. Let's go. Bye bye.
Oi. Tschüss.